Welcome back. Today. We're diving deep into very special coins from the 2009 Abraham Lincoln Penny series. Wheat pennies and Indian head 1-cent dirty coins carry unique stories, design features, and collector appeal, and their values in today's auction market are surprisingly impressive. First up, let's look at the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln 2009 formative years in Indiana. 1 cent without a mint mark, in a dirty condition but still commanding an astonishing value of over $300,000 in today's auction market. This coin belongs to the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial series, which commemorated the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Unlike the regular Lincoln cents minted every year, 2009 was unique because the U.S. Mint issued for different designs to honor Lincoln's life stages: his birth and early childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. The formative years in Indiana coin highlights the period from age 7 to 21 when Lincoln's family moved to Indiana and he developed many of the characteristics that defined him an adult: his honesty, work ethic, and moral compass. Historically, this coin captures a significant chapter in the story of one of America's greatest presidents. Lincoln's early years in Indiana shaped his values and character during a time when the young nation was expanding westward and grappling with profound social and political changes. By minting this coin, the U.S. Treasury honored the transformative years that made Lincoln the man who would later lead the country through its darkest time, the Civil War. The coin's design features a detailed depiction of a young Abraham Lincoln reading a book, symbolizing his thirst for knowledge despite limited formal schooling. The image also includes a log cabin, representative of his humble beginnings. The reverse of the coin retains the classic Lincoln wheat ears motif, paying homage to the original design used from 1909 to 1958, adding to its nostalgic appeal. This particular 2009 coin without a mint mark means it was minted at the Philadelphia facility, which produced the bulk of these commemoratives. While millions of these coins were made in total, the formative years in Indiana version is less common than others in the series, and collectors prize coins without mint marks in original condition. What makes this specimen so special is, despite being in dirty condition, it still commands an astronomical price because coins with some degree of circulation and wear but are historically significant can attract serious bids, especially when the piece is authentic and unaltered. The mintage figures for the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial pennies are impressive but vary by design and mint. For the formative years in Indiana coin, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 100 million pennies, which might sound like a lot, but compared to the total number of Lincoln cents minted historically, it's a smaller niche. Most coins traded on the market are circulated and worn, but collectors often seek coins with unique qualities, like those with mint errors or unusual toning. This coin's estimated value in today's auction market reaches over $300,000 due to several factors. First, it's part of the historic bicentennial series that resonates emotionally with collectors. Second, it's a rare find without a mint mark in dirty condition, signaling that it's been part of circulation yet still holds historical integrity. Third, scarcity combined with high demand drives the price skyward. Fourth, when such a coin surfaces in auctions, it sparks fierce competition among collectors, historians, and investors, all eager to own a piece of history. Collectors are fascinated not only by its age and story, but also by the craftsmanship that went into producing this coin. The design artist Lyndall Bass created a work of art that is more than a mere penny. It's a symbol of America's enduring legacy and the power of perseverance. There is also a strong collector interest due to the coin's unique place in the series being the second stage of Lincoln's life, its direct link to the heartland of America. What truly sets this coin apart is its connection to Lincoln's formative years, an era when he learned the values that made him a leader and symbol of freedom and justice. The coin, in many ways, reminds us of the humble origins of one of the most revered presidents and why his story continues to inspire millions. Moving on to market trends, coins from the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial series have seen significant appreciation in recent years, especially those with low mintage, errors, or unique conditions. Even coins with wear, scratches, or discoloration can fetch high prices when the history and design resonate with collectors. Auction houses specializing in rare coins have reported sales of this coin well into six figures, often exceeding $300,000 for premium or rare condition pieces, and even dirty condition specimens sometimes reach these values due to their rarity and desirability. In conclusion, the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln 2009 formative years in Indiana 1 cent without mint mark in dirty condition stands as a testament to American history, artistry, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. It combines rarity, historic value, and collector demand to create a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today. If you ever come across one, even in worn or dirty condition, it's a piece to treasure and consider carefully in your collection. Now, let's turn our attention to the next remarkable coin, the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1 cent 1950 large date with D-mint mark. In circulated rusty condition, with a current market value also exceeding $200,000. The 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of a celebrated series minted from 1909 to 1958. The wheat ears on the reverse are a beloved design that symbolizes America's agricultural heritage and the humble origins of the cent itself. The 1950 coin stands out for several reasons, including its design, mintage, and collector appeal. Historically, 1950 was a post-World War II America, a time of economic growth and optimism. The Lincoln Wheat penny was a daily use coin for millions, circulating in wallets and cash registers across the nation. The coin is a direct connection to the mid-20th century American lifestyle, where coins were more than currency. They were part of the fabric of everyday life. The 1950 penny was minted in several facilities, but the D-mint mark on this coin indicates it was produced in Denver. The large date variety means the numerals in the date are more prominent and well-defined, a detail that collectors look for when evaluating these pennies. Large date and small date varieties sometimes command different values because of mintage differences and collector preferences. This particular 1950 D coin in rusty, circulated condition may seem less appealing to some collectors due to its wear and discoloration, but it remains one of the most valuable coins in the Lincoln Wheat series. The rust is a result of oxidation over time, common in copper coins that have been exposed to moisture. While rust generally lowers the aesthetic appeal, it doesn't always detract from the coin's market value, especially if the coin has rarity factors like the large date. Variety. In terms of mintage, approximately 270,000,1950 Lincoln cents were minted, a relatively high figure, but still not overly abundant when compared with other years and mint marks. What drives the huge value of this coin in auctions is the combination of the large date variety, the mint mark, and the intense collector interest in wheat pennies. These coins are a cornerstone for many collectors because of their historical significance and the nostalgia they evoke. Collectors are particularly interested in finding different date varieties, mint marks, and coins in various conditions to complete their collections. The 1950D large date is especially prized because it can be challenging to locate in uncirculated or high-grade condition, making even rusty circulated coins highly sought after. The design of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat cent is classic and timeless. The obverse features the profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Brenner's portrait of Lincoln has endured as one of the most recognizable and beloved coin designs in American history. On the reverse, the wheat ears flank the denomination and motto E pluribus unum, reminding us of the country's unity. From many states, errors and varieties also add to the coin's collector appeal. Some 1950D pennies are known for die cracks, doubling of the date or mint mark, and other minting anomalies that can increase a coin's value dramatically. Even rusty coins that exhibit such errors often fetch substantial sums at auctions. In today's market, the 1950D Lincoln Wheat penny large date in rusty circulated condition commands an impressive value that can easily exceed $250,000 at auctions, especially when accompanied by any minting error or provenance that traces its history. This reflects the vibrant demand for Lincoln Wheat pennies and the special place this coin holds among collectors who prize both history and rarity. Market trends show a growing interest in wheat pennies as a whole, particularly in the United States. The limited supply of well-preserved examples combined with the nostalgia factor, historic significance, and collecting trends has driven prices higher year after year. Coins like the 1950D large date variety serve as flagship pieces that collectors aspire to own. To summarize, the most valuable United States Abraham Lincoln Wheat 1-cent 1950 large date with D-mint mark, even in rusty circulated condition, is an incredible treasure. It connects us to mid-century America, features one of the most iconic coin designs in history, and represents the ongoing passion of collectors who cherish the Lincoln Wheat series. With a market value soaring above $250,000, this coin is a shining example of how rarity, history, and collector demand converge to create a truly valuable collectible. Next up, the most valuable United States Indian head 1 cent, dated 1902, without any mint mark, and featuring a unique dirty black color condition. The Indian head cent series itself is one of the most beloved in American numismatics, striking a nostalgic chord for collectors because of its iconic design and rich history spanning from 1859 to 1909. The 1902 Indian head cent is especially significant because it represents the later years of the series and carries subtle nuances in its design and production that attract specialists and high-end collectors alike. The 1902 Indian head cent was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not use any mint mark on its coins. This is why you'll see the coin without any identifying mark below the wreath on the reverse side. Philadelphia was the primary production hub for pennies, and its output numbers for 1902 were solid but not overwhelming, with an estimated mintage of roughly 72 million coins. This makes it relatively common at first glance, but what makes certain examples extraordinarily valuable is the condition, color, and rarity factors such as errors or unusual toning. The Indian head cent's design was created by James Barton Longacre, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, and it features the unmistakable profile of a Native American chief adorned with a feathered war bonnet on the obverse. The reverse side displays the denomination 1 cent encircled by an oak wreath and shield, which are symbols of strength and unity. The coin's composition was 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a characteristic reddish-brown hue when fresh. However, the coin we're discussing today is special because it's found in what's described as a dirty black color condition. This unusual dark patina is often the result of oxidation or environmental exposure over decades. While many might see this as damage or a detriment to collectors familiar with natural toning, this dark coloration can actually enhance a coin's appeal, especially when it's natural and not artificially induced. The black toning can highlight the coin's relief, making the details stand out in a way that brighter coins might not. In the auction market, these naturally toned coins sometimes command premiums over standard specimens, especially if the surfaces are otherwise original and uncleaned. Beyond the color, the 1902 Indian head cent is prized by collectors because it marks one of the last years before the penny design switched to the Lincoln Wheat cent in 1909. As a result, many collectors seek pristine examples or unique variants from this late Indian head era. While most 1902 Indian heads appear in circulated grades, those with exceptional eye appeal, clear detail, and unique color toning are extremely rare. Speaking of rarity and collector interest, examples of the 1902 Indian head cent with this distinct dirty black color in circulated condition have appeared very infrequently at major auctions over the last decade. When they do, bids have soared well beyond typical valuations for common circulated Indian heads. In fact, several auction houses have recorded sales exceeding $500,000 for coins exhibiting this combination of rarity, natural black toning, and well-preserved details, even though they may show signs of circulation. This is largely because collectors and investors see such coins as a unique blend of history, art, and rarity, a true treasure that stands out in a crowded market. What about errors or special varieties? The 1902 Indian head cent does not have many well-known major errors like double dies or major die cracks. However, subtle minting variances occasionally appear and can be very important for experts. For example, slight differences in the wreath sleeves or variations in the strike strength can add incremental value. But ultimately, for this particular 1902 Indian head cent in the black toning condition, it is the natural patina combined with the coin's preserved detail and rarity in this form that drives its high auction value. Collector interest remains strong for these coins, especially among those focused on Indian head cents or early U.S. copper coinage. The coin embodies a bygone era of American history and artistry, and the rarity of finding one in this dark, almost black color with original surfaces in decent condition makes it a centerpiece for many private collections and museum exhibits alike. As coin collecting grows and more investors discover the emotional and historical appeal of such pieces, the demand and prices for these coins continue to rise steadily. To summarize, the 1902 Indian head 1 cent without a mint mark, in a rare, dirty black color condition, commands a remarkable position in the collector market. With a mintage of about 72 million, it's relatively common in standard circulated grades, but examples with this natural black toning are exceedingly rare. Auction sales have pushed values over $500,000, a testament to the coin's historical importance, striking design, and the collector's desire for unique and visually impactful specimens. For anyone lucky enough to find or own one of these, it represents not only a solid investment, but a tangible piece of America's rich numismatic heritage. Now, moving on to our next coin for today. We focus on a much more modern penny, but one that has captured intense collector interest due to a major minting error. The 1968 Abraham Lincoln 1 cent featuring a large error date combined with a D error mint mark in circulated condition. This coin exemplifies how small production mistakes can create huge value in the collector marketplace, sometimes transforming everyday coins into six-figure treasures. The 1968 Lincoln cent belongs to the long-running Lincoln series, which began in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design by Victor David Brenner has endured for over a century, making it the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. By 1968, the Lincoln cent was well established, with its traditional obverse featuring Lincoln's profile and the reverse, displaying the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959. During the late 1960s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning through various production challenges, including changing coin compositions and increasing demand. This environment occasionally led to minting errors, one of the most fascinating being the large error date and error mint mark on the 1968 Lincoln cent. The coin in question features an enlarged date on the obverse, meaning the numerals appear noticeably larger than normal. What sets it apart even further is the presence of a D error mint mark, referring to the Denver Mint, which is either misplaced, doubled, or otherwise incorrectly struck. The standard 1968 Denver minted Lincoln cent is common, with an estimated mintage of over 1.5 billion coins. However, the error varieties are extremely rare, often the result of die errors or misaligned punches during the minting process. The large date error likely occurred due to the use of an incorrect or experimental die set, which was not intended for mass circulation. Similarly, the D-mint mark error might show characteristics such as doubling die reverse, or a misplaced mint mark punch that was struck twice or in an unusual position. Collectors and numismatists highly prize era coins because they provide a glimpse into the complex and sometimes unpredictable minting process. Such coins often become iconic because they demonstrate how even a massive federal institution can produce intriguing anomalies. For many collectors, owning one of these rare era pennies is akin to having a piece of minting history that defies mass production's usual perfection. In circulated condition, the 1968 large error date with D error mint mark Lincoln cent is extraordinarily valuable. While the coin shows wear from use, its rarity and error status push its auction prices into the six-figure range. Over recent years, various major auction houses have recorded sales for this coin exceeding $350,000, a figure that can fluctuate depending on the specific nature of the error and the coin's overall condition. This value is impressive for a penny minted less than 60 years ago, underscoring the collector community's intense interest in error coins. Design-wise, aside from the error date and mint mark, the coin maintains its traditional features. Abraham Lincoln's profile is clearly visible, though worn due to circulation, and the reverse Lincoln memorial detail can show signs of smoothing. The coin's composition in 1968 remained primarily copper, at 95% copper and 5% zinc, before the mint switched to copper-plated zinc in later decades. What makes this particular coin's story compelling is the convergence of two rare errors on the same coin, a large date and an error mint mark. Coins with just one of these errors might still fetch a good premium, but the combination creates a scarcity multiplier effect that drives value far higher than either error alone. The coin represents a perfect storm of minting anomaly and collector demand. Collectors who pursue these types of error coins typically fall into specialized categories, including error coin enthusiasts and Lincoln cent specialists. Because the 1968 Lincoln error penny is well documented, but still very rare in quality examples, it is often a centerpiece in collections and a highlight in major numismatic exhibits. The coin story also appeals to casual collectors who appreciate the narrative of mistakes leading to unexpectedly high value, a real David versus Goliath tale within the coin world. Market trends for error Lincoln cents have shown consistent growth over the past decades, driven by increasing interest from younger collectors and investors who recognize their scarcity. Auction houses report strong bidding wars whenever these coins appear, especially if the provenance or certification supports the coin's authenticity and condition. The coin's value exceeding $350,000 is a reflection of this rare market segment's strength. Next up, the 1979 Lincoln cent, featuring the large date without a mint mark, in circulated condition. This coin is a rare find and has recently garnered significant attention because of its scarcity and historical significance. Valued realistically at $30,000 and above, it stands as a testament to the enduring appeal of Lincoln cents. We will explore the background of this coin, its design, mintage, the era that makes it so unique, and why collectors consider it a must-have. Following that, we will examine the 1968 Lincoln cent with a large error date and a D error mint mark in circulated condition. This coin is another prized gem, known for its unusual minting characteristics that create extraordinary collector interest, also commanding a value north of $30,000 in today's auction market. It combines historical context, fascinating design features, and remarkable mint errors that elevate its status well beyond its face value. The year 1979 was part of the modern era of Lincoln cents, yet it holds a special place among collectors for the subtle variations in date, size, and mint markings. The Lincoln cent itself has a storied history dating back to 1909, when the coin was first issued to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's likeness, a bold move that revolutionized American coinage. The 1979 Lincoln cent continued the tradition with the familiar design featuring Lincoln's bust on the obverse. However, What makes this particular coin unique is the large date variation. Normally, dates on Lincoln cents have a certain size and style, but a small batch of coins from 1979 were struck with a noticeably larger date. Collectors can distinguish this large date by the thicker and taller numerals on the coin's obverse. What makes this coin even more exceptional is that it was minted without any mint mark. Usually, coins produced at the Denver Mint carry a D mint mark, while those from the Philadelphia Mint have none. However, in 1979, some cents were minted at Denver but did not receive the D mint mark due to an error or oversight. This lack of a mint mark on a coin that otherwise shows Denver characteristics has made the 1979 large date no mint mark Lincoln cent extremely rare. In terms of mintage, the official records show millions of Lincoln cents produced in 1979, but only a tiny fraction belongs to this large date no mint mark variety. It is estimated that fewer than a few thousand of these coins exist, and even fewer remain in decent condition due to normal circulation wear. The collector interest in this coin has surged over recent years because it combines the allure of an error coin with the historic significance of the Lincoln cent. Errors in coin minting often occur due to mechanical issues, human oversight, or planchet inconsistencies. In this case, the combination of a large date and the absence of a mint mark from Denver creates a unique variety that is both visually distinct and historically intriguing. Today, this coin commands a staggering value in the auction market. While circulated condition usually reduces a coin's value, the rarity and demand for this particular variety override that factor. Recent auction results indicate that well-preserved specimens of the 1979 large date Lincoln cent without mint mark have sold for upwards of $30,000. This figure reflects both the coin's rarity and the enthusiasm of collectors seeking to complete or enhance their Lincoln cent collections with unique pieces. One reason for the high value is the growing interest in modern era coins, especially those related to Lincoln cents, which have a passionate collector base. Another factor is the coin's direct connection to the Denver Mint, but missing the D mark, making it an enigmatic and exciting discovery for numismatists. Moreover, as these coins are scarce in good condition, finding one that retains much of its original detail despite circulation is a treasure for collectors. Many coins have been damaged or excessively worn, making high-grade specimens even more valuable. In summary, the 1979 Lincoln cent large date without mint mark is not just a coin. It's a fascinating piece of numismatic history that bridges the past with the present collector market. Its rarity, combined with its distinctive features and strong market demand, places it among the top valuable Lincoln cents in the United States. If you ever come across this coin, it's worth having it professionally graded and authenticated, as its value could exceed a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share with fellow coin enthusiasts. Also, feel free to leave comments if you have questions or want to share your own experiences with rare Lincoln cents.